taking marijuana.
It's a chassis company.
Is it? Oh.
Yes, people, welcome
back to the EFL show.
That went very fucking well, didn't it? Yeah, for the EFL, my connection went a bit funny. I don't know why. I'm guessing Doncaster riddled it with their failures. Is in the chat. Big up Ravi. This show is underrated. These boys know their stuff on the EFL. Two of us do. I'm still unsure about one of them. Aaron, I was asked yesterday in my Q&A if I would slap you for free, and I answered yes. I said, you're a lovely guy, but your footballing opinions are that shit that I would happily slap you for them. So, yeah.
I'll take it.
We'll talk. How is the feeling Steven Schumacher doing anyway? I was just wanted to check in on that.
You know what? Maybe I judged him too early. I apologise for saying he was a failure after 2 games, but I'm not going to say he's going to be a massive success now. I want to judge it after a consistent amount of wins, but I'm going to apologise for saying he was a failure after just 2 games.
Yeah, I'm not asking you to say he's amazing. Just a mere apology for calling him a failure after a draw to MK Dons and a loss to Sunderland.
I apologise.
I think would be fair. Because that was. But do you know what? Your words couldn't have been even worse because literally less than 24 hours later he goes and gets a win. And so against Johnny Jackson, who's been amazing. So. Maybe Stephen was listening to a podcast and wanted to shut you up, but not many games that we've got to cover, so we can just banter Aaron. Really, we'll just roast Aaron and Doncaster for a bit. Aaron, your tiny little club didn't play today or this weekend, so you got any interesting news that we can particularly roast you about?
Well, first of all, we've got a brand new stadium name. The Eco Power Stadium. I've actually took some pictures and put them on social media. I don't actually mind the name. I don't actually mind the name change. I think it sounds pretty good. And the new logos and everything look pretty good as well. From a sponsorship view, it's the largest. It's the largest sponsorship deal in the club's history, which is historic, which is amazing. So that's all gone down pretty well. I think from a commercial point of view, that's pretty good. Obviously, the big thing is our brand new manager.
Are you Ed Woodward? Are you Ed Woodward? Are you Ed Woodward in disguise? Are you Ed Woodward in disguise? Are you Eddie? Are you? Doncaster Rovers are now basically Manchester United. They're failing, but at least they make money, I think.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is, of course, our brand new manager. Now, of course, currently the bookies' favourite is Paul Simpson, who managed in the EFL 10 years ago. So that should be fun. Former England England 20s manager. So that's fun. But there's other names that's been linked. Nigel Atkins, Mick McCarthy. Paul Clement was a surprise one after a while. I think, obviously, former assistant to Carlo Ancelotti at Chelsea and Bayern. So that's pretty interesting.
And Real Madrid.
Yeah, and Real Madrid as well. So I think he'd bring... And to be fair, I think he'd come in not as a manager, but I think he'd come in as a head coach, which is one of the directions we're thinking about going in.
How shit is his career gone if he... Aaron, the Doncaster Rovers, he has been assistant manager at Chelsea, Real Madrid, and Bayern Munich, and he's now going to Doncaster. How fucking abysmally shit has he done at his job to even be in that situation?
Well, maybe this is the chance he revitalises his career. Who knows? But no, there's been some interesting names linked in the bookies over a period of time. Obviously, Anthony Barry was the one that I was one of the most interested in. Of course, one of the coaches at Chelsea. I think he deserves a top job at some point. So maybe Anthony Barry becomes our stepping stone.
Top job.
No, he becomes our
He says
stepping
top
stone
job
to
and
a
then
top
links
job.
into Doncaster.
No. Anthony Barry.
I thought you didn't like
makes
that.
I think Anthony Barry, if he ever came, we'd be the stepping stone for him to go higher, or he takes us as high as he can, then goes the stepping stone forward. But
Or for him, or for him
honestly,
to ruin his
I'm going to
career.
I'm going to be completely honest. I think the past 3 or 4 appointments, I've sort of thought that's the guy we're going to appoint, and that's who we've appointed. This is the first time in a few years now where I think I've got no idea who we're going to appoint. We don't know if we're going to appoint Gary McSheffrey permanently. Obviously, it's part of our policy to give the temporary managers an interview, which, to be fair, the passion that Gary McSheffrey and Frank Sinclair's shown over the games they've taken. By the way, Frank Sinclair took a pot shot at Piers Morgan on social media last this week, so big up to Frank Sinclair. But I think Gary and Frank show a lot of passion. The thing about me with Gary McSheffrey, though, is it's just too soon for him. We're just in too much of a bad situation for him to be given too soon. So I think Gary just needs time. He will become a great manager for Rovers one day, along with Frank Sinclair, but I just think it's a bigger job too soon for them. So I think we need someone with a lot more experience. So like I said, this is the first time in years where I don't know who we're going to appoint. Like I said, January, reports coming out that CHUMACHER and Vilka is going to be sent back. CHUMACHER, he's not really kicked on, so I'm kind of happy with looking at possibly sending him back.
Is that Turkish wonder kid that was meant to get
10 goals this season
minimum?
It's the Turkish wonder kid. And Vilka, I thought there was times where Vilka's skill level was actually really good.
Just to backtrack it. Just to backtrack a little bit, do we add the Turkish wonder kid as another stupid comment into your book of stupid comments?
Go on then.
And can you write the book and then we'll sell it, and then people can just read all your stupid. Like if they're depressed, they can just read your opinions on football.
Yeah,
yeah, go for it.
Right.
Yeah,
I feel
like with Vilka, like I said, his skill level was pretty good, but I think he was just getting injured a little bit too often. So I think Vilka, I can kind of get that. He's only been on loan with us the same time as Jacob Ramsey was on loan to us during that null and void season. So we kind of missed the boat with Jacob Ramsey, but we got a bit unlucky with Jacob Ramsey. So I think maybe Vilka could have shown us a lot more than CHUMACHER's done, but it's one of those things. If we're sending Vilka back,
missed the boat with Jacob Ramsey. What were you expecting from Jacob Ramsey then if you missed the boat?
He was only on loan to us for only a couple of months before that null and void kicked in, and he was something special. And I kind of wanted to see a lot more of him the following season, but we didn't get the deal done. So obviously now he's in the first team at Villa, so we kind of, missed a good opportunity to get more time out of him.
Sign him? Villa
No, to bring him
to sign him
for a bit longer, like
on loan, not permanently.
Oh. I was just about to say, signing. Well, if that's the case, then Plymouth Argyle are favourites to sign Mason Greenwood. Then, fuck it.
No, not signing.
Which we actually have, because Terry Flewers has started quoting himself as like a track expert on the bottom of some things. So I did that earlier, and Plymouth Argyle are the main club to get Mason Greenwood's signature, but Arsenal and Barcelona are interested. That came from the transfer expert Niall at PAFC, the esteemed Niall PAFC. So I just saw that and I was like, I'll copy it. Why not? Let's do this. Apparently, you don't need to be a transfer expert anymore. You just need to read a load of stuff on the sports journalists.
Yeah. In terms of our other loanees, we are hopeful of keeping Galbraith, but there could be a chance that United want him to play at a higher level, which is obviously, it's going to be sad if we lose Galbraith, because I think he was probably the best loanee by a country mile. Dahlberg could be sent back, but that's undecided. He's been sort of falling down the pecking order since Wellens has left. We had a Lewis Jones, so I kind of expect
wasn't he the Swedish god?
The Swedish god that I called him in the vlog. Because of a few penalties saves and a few good saves. To be fair, the thing is with Dahlberg, I think he was a good goalkeeper, but I just think he was surrounding a team that was just playing poorly. And then you got Matt Smith. Again, that's undecided, but I think that Matt Smith's just one of those again where it's like we'll see what happens with him. But as far as I know, in terms of January, that's the situation on the loanees. I've heard in terms of selling players, we're not going to sell players now. Bogle and Williams are back in the setup. We're not preparing to offload any players. We need to bring in players rather than let people go. So I think that's the plan. In terms of people coming in, I really don't know what position. It depends. It depends what the new manager. I mean, to be fair, I have heard reports that the recruitment team are actually recruiting players, and then all they need is the new manager's signature, and they're in the club. That's the whole thing with this now. It's not just a case of the new manager picks the players and they sign him. The recruitment team are the ones picking the players, and the new manager signs which ones he wants, and the deals are done. So that seems to be our strategy, and it looks like if we're bringing in a head coach as manager,
didn't you say
then we're going to have a director of football as well, which is part of that recruitment process.
Didn't you say that you were just getting a bunch of loanees in?
Well, that's what I'm probably going to expect from January, to be perfect.
So they've either 1 minute they've either signed a load of deals already and they're just waiting for the sign off, or you're getting a load of loans in. What is it to be?
Well, Graham Young has actually come out and said, I think it was in a club statement actually, or somewhere that they were looking at Premier League teams for loan players, and it was actually at a West Brom under-23 match against Reading. So that says
we'll add that to stupid comment number 2 because West Brom are a Championship side. Oh, Jesus Christ! Can someone help Aaron and his football knowledge?
Yeah,
no,
they can easily get.
I said
yeah, that's it. They can easily get loan players in.
But
yeah,
then
they can
he's
easily
also
get
been at the West Brom under-23s match.
Well, to be fair, I don't know if there are many Premier League clubs that would send their players to Doncaster at the moment. Like,
well, actually,
most Premier League teams would like their players to. To be fair,
to be fair, people have come out and to be fair, head coaches from all around the world have said to our board that we are well run. So it's not like we've got a bad reputation. It's just we haven't been right on the pitch this season.
Well-run club. Are you serious?
which is
That's what apparently Baldwin has come out and said. We've been told we're very well run.
But people that are saying that must be. He's gone. Yeah, people must be saying that just to take the mic. But as of news for us, there isn't loads. But the two big news that I done earlier on my video is that our game has been called off already for Boxing Day because the players that got COVID for Scunny game obviously have to isolate for 10 days. So. Yeah, we've got 7 players out with COVID, 9 injuries, 2 suspensions. So if you work that out, that's about 19 players. So that's why the game's off. And also, our centre-back, who's been out injured, is linked to Plymouth Argyle as a coach for a coaching role because he used to play with Schumacher, and there's been heavy links that Mark Hughes is going to Plymouth. And he's a shit player, so I'm guessing, yeah, he won't be playing. He'll just be as a coaching role with Schumacher.
Doesn't make sense, though. Honestly, because we're looking for an attacking coach.
Yeah, exactly.
And
he's a centre back.
Yeah, so we've got Kev, who normally does the defenders. Schumacher used to be a midfielder, so I think Schumacher's probably doing the midfield coaching. Ryan Lowe was a striker, so I would predominantly assume that Ryan Lowe was the one doing the strikers. So I would say we're looking for a more attacking coach, unless he's looking for 2 coaches, to which then a defensive coach might not be a bad shout. And maybe Nance does the
all 3 of our clubs are linked to new coaches, aren't we? You're looking for an attacking coach. They're selling possibly selling a defensive coach, and we're looking for a set piece coach. We won't be
buying.
Yeah, it's not buying it. He'll just go because we signed him on a year deal, but he's been shit anyway. But he got injured. He's only played 6 games, but. Yeah, I've just seen it linked today, apparently, because he's good mates with him. He's Scouse. He played with him at 2 different clubs. And Yeah, it was just linked. So yeah, it wouldn't be. They wouldn't have to pay. It'd just go there like on a free,
Yeah.
and we'd cancel his contract.
I must say that the level of journalism is really getting a bit shocking nowadays. He scouts who used to play with him or automatically linked with him. You never know. For all we know, Schumacher could be looking at Carlo Ancelotti as an attacking coach. You never know.
Oh shit!
Like, oh shit!
Yeah,
what?
I mean it's I mean I just
Oh,
just
God,
seen it.
has Boris shagged your mum? Oh no way has Boris shagged your mum. Fuck it out. Boris has been balls deep in your mother. Jesus Christ.
So
No, he's already got enough.
Did he bring cheese and wine?
So basically, another news source, the 72 of the football league.com has come out and basically said what I said before, that Shakira and Milkers looks to be going back to the parent.
Could I just
say
I trust. Are they the ones that tried baiting Argyle fans when they said Ryan Lowe won his first game and Schumacher lost, which was the Ryan Lowe effect?
Oh, was it them?
Yeah, if that's them, they can go fuck themselves. Unprofessional.
Thiago, I'm a bit more sad about because I've spoken to him personally. He's a nice lad, so I'm going to stay in touch with Thiago, obviously, afterwards. But it's nice speaking to Thiago. And
maybe you'll be able to watch some of his games, and maybe you'll be able to watch some of his games in the Vanarama National League North.
To be fair, now if he's going back to his parent club, I might try and get in touch with Watford, try and get him on the channel to rewatch some of his old Rovers games from this past 6 months, see where it went wrong.
Yeah.
Just
torture the boy.
Off.
Yeah, just completely torture the poor kid. Why not?
See where it went
one goal. Oh yeah, Thiago. Let's have a look at your one goal you scored this season.
The second goal against MK Dons in a 2-1 win.
Yeah. No, somehow I
Which
don't think you should do that.
It was a good win against MK Dons.
Yeah, I still don't think you should be bringing him onto you. I don't think he'll come onto you.
But no, there was some stuff that I did miss about January. There was some stuff that I missed out, which I've now got in front of me.
Oh God, you went for about 15
but to be honest, I wouldn't go off these different articles because most of them just chat bollocks.
I know.
Do you want to know what
that's got links into the club?
Oh yeah.
What is
he
it?
Shagged your mum as well.
So, in terms of signings, it's understood the recruitment team have been exploring signings through the spine of the team with funds available to add good quality players in each positions. The priority is attacking areas and defensive midfield, which I kind of get. We're looking at a possible left back as well, since we're playing Tommy Rowe further forward. With John and Williams coming back, I don't think we're looking at centre backs, even especially with a Lowe signing an 18-month contract. Even though the centre backs this season, not going to lie, have been poor. In terms of loanees coming in, it looks like we might do, which we've thought about before. And basically, what I've said before about players going out permanently, we're not looking to sell anyone now that Bogle and Williams are back in the setup, and we're losing players to injury.
Don't worry, I don't think there's not many clubs that would take your players, even if you paid them that low.
Yeah.
But no,
Charlie, you're in League. You're in League Two. Would you take any of Donny's players?
I would take a few of them, but
Tommy Rowe.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah,
I can literally think of like 3 or 4. Tommy Rowe, Ethan Galbraith, even though he ain't theirs. Matt Smith, even though he ain't theirs.
But even Matt Smith, I don't rate Matt Smith. Shit.
Matt Smith would be water boy for Argyle, to be fair. He's a
exactly.
Who's the other one then? You got Rowe, Galbraith, and Smith. Who's the other one?
And that I'll take Okunabiri.
He's only going to be playing for 10 games of the season now because of the medical shit that we messed up when Darren Moore was in charge. We messed up medically when he was in charge.
I'll just take the two. I'd take Tommy Rowe and
Okunabiri is a sad situation because it's now known that we made a huge mistake at the start of his injury, and now it's just
It's
getting
a sad
delayed, and now
situation.
he's back,
Yeah.
and he's back at the end of the season now. It's so sad we are Kanabiri because we
Yeah,
messed
'cause
up.
that's
Do you
the thing,
know what I would do
want,
if
I don't really want any more injury-prone players. We've
I
already got.
don't think
10 out of
Kanabiri will
9.
sign a new contract. I think he'll leave in the summer because
Yeah, be gone.
I
Do
don't
you
think
know
he's
what
gonna be playing. I think he's already played his last game for Rovers. I don't think he'll play the last 10 games either.
Do you want to know what I would do if I was Okanabiri?
It's sad.
Sue the fucking shit out of you. I would sue.
Innit?
you.
I wouldn't be
If they
surprised
mess up.
because we made a mistake at the start. We made a mistake.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
Was that by any chance Richie Wellens?
No, it was the Darren Moore era.
Oh,
No, when it was Wellens.
but he wasn't in
This
charge.
season
No,
he got
the
injured.
setback
wasn't-
started under the Darren
wasn't-
Moore era, and they just kept
But
getting
no,
delayed. under Wellens as well.
No, when he was fine.
When did he start to have his issues? It was under Richie
He got
Wellens, wasn't it?
injured. He got injured when.
Yeah,
in fact,
when
no, I
was-
think it was when Andy Butler was in charge.
When
there you
was
go,
the
it's not-
major fuck up?
Getting injured in the first place. But no.
Yeah, but when was the major fuck up done? Was it done by Darren Butler, or was it done by Richie?
No, it was done. It was
the
done.
Psycho
It was done
Wellens?
under Wellens because Aaron said at the start
Yeah.
of this season.
Yeah.
So it was Wellens.
Well, Okanabiri was.
I
on his way back,
like
and then he was
I like
delayed.
how he tries to. I like how he tries to blame everything on Darren Moore, and nothing
It's
on
not
Richie
everything
Wellens.
on Darren Moore. Andy Butler was in caretaker charge, and
He-
it wasn't even the manager's fault.
he
Anyway,
doesn't-
it was the medical team at the time.
He doesn't like blaming Richie Wellens, does he?
Injuries fall to the medical team. If they're not treated properly, it's down to them. If they made
don't
a mistake,
don't blame
they
the
made a
managers
mistake.
then. You was blaming
Yeah,
the managers.
you went straight to it. You went straight to Darren Moore, the poor bastard.
I said the Darren Moore era. The medical team.
All
were
he's
the
trying
ones
to
with
do, all
responsibility
Darren
for
Moore
this.
is trying to do, is be the best manager that he can be. And this Aaron
Sheffield
Chandler
Wednesday.
guy just keeps blaming him. It's very rude. It's very rude. You
Yeah,
should
now
have
look
more
at
dignity.
Darren Moore flying high with Sheffield Wednesday, and we're in the fucking pits.
No, but
No,
how's
poor
that
Tony.
his fault?
It's not his fault.
Genuinely,
It's
I
our
would
own
love-
fault. We take responsibility for this.
I don't know if you lot
The
do.
mistakes we've made,
Like-
the mistakes we've made over the last 12, 18, 24 months, we take responsibility for that. Short-term signings, biting ourselves on the backside, getting rid of them 23s because it's financially stable.
And
It's our own
also
mistake.
going with cheap options for manager like
Yeah.
Andy Butler and
It was
Wellens,
bro-
who used to
It was
play for
brought
you.
up at the Meet the Owners event. Do you know what the weird thing is, though? The owner at the Meet the Owners event said, people call me Bramelovic. I'm not Bramelovic, I'm Bramall. So, I've never heard anyone call him Terry Bramelovic. Never.
I don't know.
I think you. Have.
Anyway,
I think
shall we
you
actually
have
get on
multiple
with
He's
talking
a
about
nice guy, but I've never
some
heard anyone
results?
call him Bramelovic.
rather than
Well,
rather than talking
Charlie,
about Donny.
Charlie, the reason we're doing some show filler is because there weren't actually that many results to talk about, mate. Like most games
Yeah,
got
that's
postponed.
Yeah,
I don't even know
I
if we're
was
going to be
just
in front of Sky Sports on 27th. Yeah, we don't know if that's going to get called off against Sunderland.
I was just
Boxing
thinking
Day.
I was just thinking of adding some show filler because, to be frankly honest, if we started talking about the fixtures from the beginning, we'd be done by now.
yeah.
I'll tell you,
we've
that's
literally
not
done-
even-
I'll tell you something now. I'd be ashamed if they called off the Sunderland game because all the headlines are pointing towards that game on the 27th. New manager, new director of football, new stadium name against Sunderland in front of Sky Sports. Perfect Sky Sports fixture. It'd be a shame
Yes.
if that got called off.
Yeah.
Bit of a typical Doncaster if
so
it gets
let's-
called off.
Let's go to some comments. Question for all three of you. What are you hoping for me next 3 or 4 fixtures? 4 wins.
For them to actually be on,
Yeah.
because the
That's a
next
good-
one isn't.
Kenny says, now can you see Argyle going up through the automatic still? Well, it's very early to suggest anything, really.
Can I answer that
Yeah,
question
why not?
about the
I mean-
3 or 4 fixtures?
You can after I've answered this question. Yeah, I think we still could. I mean, obviously, it will really depend on how we perform against the sides that we went on the unbeaten run. If we go on another, huge unbeaten run and we're sitting near the top come the crunch period and we can keep key players fit like Niall Ennis, if we can add in January, that would be good as well. If we can get James Bolton to actually touch the blade of grass at home park, that would be swell. Preferably a football boots on, that would be even better. And keeping key players fit and not getting too many suspensions. So it's all very ifs, buts, and maybes at the moment because we're not even halfway through the season yet. But what are you hoping for your next 3 or 4 fixtures? I said 4 wins. Charlie said for them to be on. I'm guessing you've got a paragraph waiting for us. So
No, not really. Sunderland probably a loss. Cambridge might get a point.
so
Morecambe might get a
through
point.
individually.
Fleetwood will probably win that. So I think 3 points out of 12.
All right, wonderful.
3 or 4.
Aaron, where do you get your footy info from?
My mind.
From fake accounts.
Yeah. Can
By
you
the way,
tell me
check
what
out my
EFL
video on early
games are on?
kickoff. I was on a nice football pitch doing some nice football challenges.
Yeah. No, because we don't even know what games are on. Sunderland, ain't they playing Arsenal in the cup game tomorrow? They are.
And they're playing
Question
next Monday.
for all 3: what positives can you take from the season so far? Well, I can take quite a few. We're in the playoffs at the moment in League One, which is more than anyone expected us, and we're above the
16-game unbeaten run.
We're above the mighty Doncaster, who Dickhead said would finish above us and in 7th place. What positives can you take from the season so far?
What, me or Aaron?
Well, I was going to go Aaron first because I'm presuming
go on
his
then,
list is really. I'm presuming his list is really fucking short, apart from some attacking runs.
Yeah, what were those, I was going to say, Aaron. What were those positives where you was like, oh, we actually passed the ball forward, wasn't it, or something like that?
I think probably the only positive I can take out this season so far is
Against Rotherham.
I swear to God, I'm telling you, no more jokes, no more banter. We're coming for this fucking league.
Oh my days! Someone clip that, please. I can't.
The only positives I can take out of this season so far is that we're still mathematically safe.
And you're not bottom anymore for now.
Yeah, we're not bottom, which is a positive as well. We're closer to Gillingham and Shrewsbury and Fleetwood than we are Crewe Alexandra.
So if we were to put like levels of standards of our clubs, I would say Argyle are right up here. I'd say our standards are pretty damn high. Rovers, Bristol Rovers, this is. I'll put them about here. They're not too bad. They get angry after a loss. They don't tell me that they've had good attacking runs and they've passed the ball forward a couple of times. And then we fucking Doncaster. And if I get all the way down here, right, all the way fucking down here, you're right on ground zero. And if I was to dig a hole in my floorboards and go into my housemate's bedroom underneath, go all the way down there, down to the concrete of his floor, dig about 90 feet, we'll find Doncaster Rovers standards.
I think if I was to find a second positive, it would probably be Joseph Olowu. I think he's been our best defender all season.
And that says something. The amount of goals he conceded.
I think Olowu's been fantastic, especially in that Shrewsbury game where he got a goal, got in the way of every single ball Shrewsbury tried to play in. Hard working. I think Olowu's been great. I think Ethan Galbraith's been a magician at times. I think Tommy Rose put in decent performances and played for the badge every single time. Apart from that moment against, I think it was Oxford when we lost, or Mansfield, where he started, having to go at fans at full time. That was a negative. But to be fair, all the players are having to go at fans at full time. Well, Anderson and Rowe at least, but I think most of the players had to go at the fans at full time for booing, and they had a right to boo. The kids.
I tell you what.
Players had a right to boo.
Yeah, that would be one positive from last season. Well, obviously relegation isn't, but the fact that there was no fans, because I've seen it in the past where we've been relegated and there's been heaps and heaps of arguments between players and fans and managers.
That makes me really nervous, Even though I've said we're mathematically safe, it's going to make me really nervous being in that stadium in March or April or May and seeing the club get relegated to League Two. It's gonna, we might banter ourselves, but it's gonna fucking hurt. It's gonna hurt.
Yeah,
I've got another positive here. The mighty Argyle being linked with massive people like Mason Greenwood, as you can see here.
In your dreams.
Yeah.
No. This is apparently how they do it on the football terrace now. So, this one is from someone called Nile PAFC. It says Mason Greenwood is pushing for his United exit. Plymouth Argyle are the leading club. However, Arsenal and Barcelona are showing interest, which I think is for me one of the best positives Argyle has got. That we're now able to attract players like Mason Greenwood. So that would be my highlight of the season.
I'll tell you what, I'd be really interested to see what League Two and League One's going to look like next season, which teams are going to be in, because we know Derby's going to be in League One next season. We might not be there.
Wouldn't we all? I'll see you fuckers in 2 years' time when we get relegated from the Championship.
We're going to be coming up. We might be coming up against we might end up coming up against Bradford, Boreham Wood, and Chesterfield next season if we're not careful. Or we might stay in League One and come up against Derby next season.
Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, I tell you what.
Should we talk about some games in a minute?
Yeah, I'm quickly going to do my positives. There isn't too many, but I would say Anthony Evans probably one of the few that we got.
I said about him as soon as he signed.
That we got on a free, and 12 goal contributions from midfield. I will take credit
from that. I'll take credit saying he was good.
Mate, you didn't say nothing about Evans.
I said Anthony Evans was going to be a decent signing, and you said no, he's not going to do well in my opinion.
I didn't say that.
Credit for that.
I didn't say he wasn't going to do well, but before we joined, because we signed him literally an hour before the deadline shut on a free transfer on a 1-year deal, and a lot of people were like, because he hasn't really done that well in his career. Really, he hasn't had This is his best ever season as a footballer with adding goals and stuff. But I believe Bristol Rovers would have given him a platform, and they've done that so far. Yeah. I'll tell you what. Overall in football, though, could you isn't it weird the jump between League Two and League One next season? Like for Bristol Rovers as well. Like you could go from playing Derby and Sheffield Wednesday and Charlton next season, or you could go down and play Boreham Wood, Chesterfield, and maybe even Bradford. Like the jump next season could be.
I love how he's just chatting. Don't go to. If I was you, I would avoid going Bradford for the next 5 years because they're gonna fucking kill you for putting them in that. Bradford Stadium is bigger than yours. And they've got more history.
I'm not saying Bradford's a bad club, but I mean the League One and League Two divisions next season are looking to be like Boreham Wood, Chesterfield.
But that's the thing is, but it's the same as this season. League One has got a lot of quality in it this season, and you could say, League.
You're right.
Tell you what, if we keep going the way we're going, and Sutton keep going the way they're going, we could be in a lower division than Sutton United next season.
Sunderland are just a nothing club who do not exist. You're right. Derby are much bigger than Sunderland. But get your head out of there. Moving swiftly on.
It's weird that we.
Aaron, shush. Shut it. Thank you.
Something on going up, just saying.
I
think Sutton could do it. I think Sutton could do it.
They're shit. We beat them in the FA Cup.
Zip it. Thank you. Let's talk about some games, shall we? Let's start with league leaders of League One, and let's do Cambridge versus Rotherham. This game was nowhere near close. Yes, possession counts for nothing, really. It was basically 50-50. Rotherham had double the shots, and they had 6 on target, compared to Cambridge's 1. I think I know where the game was lost. Believe it or not. Everything else was pretty close, apart from, literally that. And the 5 saves that Cambridge's keeper had to make. It was a 1-0 win for Rotherham away at Cambridge. Aaron, you're technically still in League One for the moment. What's the thoughts of Rotherham? You've been done 6-0 by them. I believe, and they've got
in the Papa in the irrelevant trophy.
Well, they have got someone called William Gregg. Do you know who William Gregg might be?
Yeah, they've also got Kieran Sadlier, who was offered a contract and turned it down because he wants to play elsewhere.
To be fair, If
And
I
he
was
went to our
offered a
nearest and
Doncaster,
dearest
right,
rivals, and that's why people despise him for it.
if I was offered a contract by Doncaster, I would also reject it. But Will Grigg actually came on for Freddie Ladapo, a former Argyle lad, he is. But yeah, a 1-0 win. I suppose in football, it's just it's the 3 points that matters, not the amount of goals you score.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think on the balance of it, looking at the highlights extendedly, I think Cambridge did have some moments where they could have put Rotherham under serious pressure. It was still a good win by Rotherham, don't get me wrong, but I think that this one was a lot more harder to work for because Cambridge definitely did come out with them with some fight. I credit Cambridge's goalkeeper a lot, but Rotherham were just too strong in the end. I think overall this season, it might, and this is no disrespect to Argyle and their 16 unbeaten run, but right now at this stage, I think Rotherham could walk away with the title. I think they could walk away with it.
Yeah.
I mean, Charlie, Aaron must have forgot when we literally said at the start of the season that Rotherham are the West Brom of League One and League One and the Championship, and they are probably going to go up as champions. Did that get
Can we expand the New York Stadium a bit more? I'm just wondering because I think Rotherham could be bigger.
Aaron, did that get missed in translation? Did you not quite get that memo where me and Charlie literally said they will probably be champions of the league? Because they literally go down from a championship, back up to a championship, down from a championship, back up to a championship, down from a championship, and you know how it goes from there. So did that one get missed in
championship tour?
Yeah. Did that sort of get missed in the translation?
No,
I know we're from the West Country.
I'm just wondering where Rotherham go next because they can't always be a yo-yo club between those two divisions forever. They've got to go there. And
they
stay
can.
there.
West Brom.
Yeah,
West Brom of Norwich.
That's the problem, though, isn't it?
West Brom and Norwich have done it
League
for
One.
years.
That's the problem, though, isn't it? With the quality of League One and the Championship, and Rotherham aren't like this. Rotherham aren't like this huge club. They're a decent, well-run club, but it's hard from because you see it mainly most seasons. The team that goes up from League One usually comes straight back down, and it has that thing. So, whether they can stay there is a different matter because they were so, and same as Wickham, they were really close to staying, but it's just the quality. It's hard, but as of their result on the weekend, not the best performance, but they managed to get the win, and I think they're on the best ever club's unbeaten run, like 21 games or something crazy, and very good result.
Also for Cambridge as well. I think that even though they lost today, it's those results where they keep grinding and fighting that I think Cambridge will stay in this league for a second season. But again, can next season can they pull off a season performance to stay out of the second season syndrome and get relegated next season? We'll have to see.
Because that's the thing with Cambridge. They're like especially at home. Like you look at their.
I'm worried about that Cambridge game because
and you should be because even they were what they've been 2-0 down to Ipswich at home. I know Ipswich haven't been the best, but you look at Ipswich's quality in their team. They managed to draw it back, and they've kept a lot of teams.
Don't be disrespectful.
We adjusted to life without Paul Mullin better than we thought.
Don't be disrespectful about Ipswich. I mean, they told us that they were our cup final. They came to Home Park and took their L like little babies and didn't stop moaning about it. So please don't disrespect Ipswich like that. They were our cup final.
I think Cambridge adjusted to life without Paul Mullin better than we expected.
Yeah.
Probably. Next one.
Meanwhile, Paul Mullin's doing well for Wrexham as well. So they both got the best win.
Lovely. Big up panel. Hope you're all well. Absolutely. So next one, Ipswich obviously just appointed their new manager, Kieran McKenna. They got a 1-1 draw against Sunderland, which is not the best result for Sunderland, I don't think, if we're being completely honest. If Sunderland have got ambitions of going up as promoted automatically, they're going to want to win these games because, we're going to doing quite well. And then you've got a chasing pack quite close to Sunderland. With Wickham, Argyle and Oxford all within touching distance of Sunderland. So a point better for Ipswich than than Sunderland, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that Ipswich probably needed that point. I think Sunderland needed the 3 points a lot more than Ipswich, but I think that Ipswich got a decent point out of this game. And I think Kieran McKenna's got something to work with there. I think he's got a lot of money to spend in January, obviously with their recent takeover in the summer. So I think
they've
Ipswich
just
have got
spent about 50 billion. They've just spent about 50 billion pounds on like a whole new squad.
I think
more do they want to buy?
Ipswich is one of those clubs though that will still look to improve their squad with more investment. They're going to still try to provide a couple more depth to Kieran McKenna's squad.
If there's anyone from Ipswich watching, my advice to you would be don't fucking do that. Let them fucking gel for a second. Because to be frankly honest, you bought about 21 players in the summer. You shouldn't be wanting or needing to buy anyone in January.
It depends if Kieran McKenna wants. It depends if Kieran McKenna wants to bring in anyone or wants to allow the current squad to gel for another 6 months. So
yeah, but even just on the appointment though, that is one of the weirdest up and most dodgy appointments I've ever seen in football.
Is he going to be a B-Tech Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, or is he going to play the attacking football? Is quoted to say.
Yeah, because I just don't get that at all, and I just don't get it at all. It's one of the weirdest things from being like a coach at
Aaron
United.
Just said attacking football. We've already seen.
Yeah, but that's what Ipswich want.
Yeah, no,
so does every team.
I'm sure they do. I also want a 10-inch dick and I want to shove it in Channing Tatum, but we don't all get what we want. The thing is, right, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Kieran McKenna was a coach and they played the most pragmatic football in the world in terms, we'll just chuck everyone in defence and we'll hit on the break. Then he was part of Michael Carrick's coaching team for the, caretaker role. And they did exactly the same and played terrorist football against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. So I'm just wondering where on his CV does it say that he plays attacking football? Because so far, I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, it's just a very.
I think the appointment was a weird. I think the appointment was a weird one. I was expecting someone like Neil Harris.
I reckon he's going to do awful.
I was expecting someone with a lot more experience of promotion, like a Neil Harris or something like that. I wasn't expecting a.
Yeah, but even then,
fair, it's nice they're going down the young up and coming coach route that could play a certain style of football. Like Kieran McKenna's got a bag of potential if he realizes it. So I can see why they've gone down that route, but it still is a bit more surprising than someone that's got a lot of experience of promotion through the Football League or promotion of somewhere equivalent around the world. So I thought they were going to go for someone from a European continent, to be honest, someone like an Uwe Rosler or someone from a European club, someone to take them forward.
I just don't get it because even their fans were like, oh, like when Neil Harris was on about, they were like, oh, we don't play that. I mean, Ipswich and all these clubs like Sunderland as well, thinking they should just run away with this league is not how it works. They've been in League One for a few years now, and they think they can just piss the league.
I think Ipswich will get back there now. I think Ipswich got the right people in charge, and they'll be a big club again at some point.
I think for me, Ipswich think that they should get someone like Pep Guardiola or fucking Jurgen
the League One version of Pep. Who is the League One version of Pep Guardiola? I'm interested.
No, there isn't one. I genuinely think these clubs think that they should have Pep Guardiola in charge of their club.
That's just stupid.
Well, it was.
Welcome to.
Well, it was before he left. Before he left, it was Ryan Lowe, wasn't it?
I'll tell you what, that would be an interesting video. Try and find the League One versions of Guardiola, Klopp, and Tuchel.
I tell you what. League Two version of Pep is Ben Garner because he's on fire.
Yeah,
and they've obviously got each other in the FA Cup.
The League One will probably be Steven Schumacher, but moving on. Morecambe drew 0-0 with Fleetwood. We're not talking about that game.
Shit game, shit teams.
But goalless draw. Both teams could be in trouble.
We don't talk about 0-0s. That's just one of the rules I've got on this show. I'm not sitting here talking about a 0-0 draw. It's never happened.
Was it Morecambe?
Yeah, Morecambe.
It was Morecambe Fleetwood.
I hope Morecambe get
but
out of trouble because they deserve to stay in this league.
I thought I just said we.
Why
What
do
I
they
thought I
deserve to
just
stay
said-
in the
We're
league?
talking about Morecambe. I think Cole Stockton
we
could
haven't-
beat Morecambe in the summer if they go
We,
down.
I
I think Cole
don't.
Stockton will get a big move
We haven't
somewhere.
really. Oh my God! Does this guy shut up? Thank you. Next up, Oxford
I think
Wigan.
Stockton
Let's
will get
actually
moved.
talk. Oh my God! One more time, and I'm going to put you backstage, and me and Charlie will finish League One. Do I make myself clear? Excellent. Let's talk about Oxford versus Wigan, shall we? Because this was actually a game, right? It finished Oxford 2, Wigan 3.
Wow.
And it was an 86-minute winner by James McLean for Wigan to rescue them 3 points. That's not the first time that they've come back from a draw to win it late on. Thank you, Wigan, you wankers. But this one, Oxford, they're in the playoffs. They're currently sitting sixth, a point behind Argyle. So obviously we've now been able to extend that by a point. But Charlie, I'll go to you. Do you expect Wigan in the top 2, or are they just going to miss out? Because I think Wigan are not have gone unnoticed, but I think they're certainly one of the ones. I think there's a group of 5 that will take the second spot. I do think Rotherham will win the league. I think Wigan, Sunderland, Wycombe, or Argyle, one of them 4 will go up as automatic in second place. Do you expect that to be Wigan, or do you think it'll be Sunderland, Wycombe, or heck, even Argyle if they go well? I mean, how do you see
I
it
think
going?
Sheffield Wednesday could potentially go in the mix if they.
Nah, Sheffield Wednesday.
Your name is not.
Sheffield Wednesday.
I went to Charlie. Then I was going to you. I mean, Christ.
It just came to me. Sorry, it just came to me.
But yeah,
sit on it.
Yeah, Aaron, just sit on it. Yeah, for me, yeah, I expect Wigan to be in the top 2. For me, they've got the best squad in the league. And yeah, for me, they score a lot of goals. Usually they don't concede many, but obviously bit of a mad game because they went 2-0 up and then they then Oxford brought it back to 2-2, and then of course the player that a lot of people hate, James McLean, goes and scores a late winner. But yeah, for me, I expect them to be top 2. Maybe even if they can go on a big run, maybe win the league. But I think, like you said, Rotherham have got just the knack and the great manager and a good squad. But yeah, for me, I expect Wigan to finish in the top 2.
Aaron, do you have any suggestion on who you think will be in the top 2 after you blurted out like a little child? you can just hold it in, like you can just do that if you wish sometimes. Like it's not a problem.
I think Sunderland will bottle it because they always do. Whether they get playoffs or not is another story this year. Wycombe are still within a chance. I think Argyle still have a chance with Schumacher if they get a consistent amount of wins together. But there's teams outside the top 6 that I think could still be within a chance of at least challenging for those top 2 places if other teams fall away. Your Sheffield Wednesdays, your Portsmouth on a good run of form, MK Dons if they pick up some form as well. I think they could be in the race for top 6 as well. So I still think from 3rd to I'd say 9th.
Yeah, but Niall was on about top 2.
That wasn't the fucking question, mate. The question wasn't name me the top 6. The question was name me the top 2. Do you think Sheffield Wednesday are closing that gap of 8? Mind you, Wigan have only lost 4 times this season.
We're still halfway through the season. At this stage, I'd probably say it's Rotherham and Wycombe in the top 2. I think Wycombe will do it.
Wycombe?
Yeah, I think Wycombe will do it. I think Wigan will fall. I think Wigan are due a bad run of form at some point.
They've already had a bad run of form.
I think it'll happen again, and I think Wycombe will take advantage. Wycombe's a team that never gives up, and I think Ainsworth have got a chance. Sunderland will bottle it, but I think Wycombe's got a chance.
And you wonder why, when asked if I wanted to slap you for free, I said yes.
I did say Argyle's got a chance as well. I said Wycombe and Argyle.
I don't care. I don't care if you say we've got a chance or not. Like
it hurts me to say it because where we are, but Argyle have got a chance.
Oh yes, because Argyle are huge rivals with the mighty Doncaster. Big up, Captain.
I
Nat
want to
as
get
well.
one over you for once. We finished up with you last season. We don't. I want to do it again.
Sometimes
But
it doesn't help. Well done. You finished above a recently promoted side that season. Congratulations. Fuck
It's
me,
you.
what
I
an
want you to.
achievement.
I want you to feel like you've lost and we've won.
Sometimes it doesn't help when you keep sacking your managers. That is true. That is true. The next game we'll talk about is actually, ironically, the game from Home Park. And it is Steven Schumacher's first win. Aaron, apologise to Schumacher first.
Sorry, pal.
There we go. Now, on to the game. The first half, we were diabolical. The first half was an absolute fucking shambles. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know what they were thinking they were doing, but it certainly was not football.
Charlton was all over him first half.
Mainly because Argyle were absolutely they were pony. They were pure pony.
Charlton played good as well, but Argyle were all over the place.
It was Kieran Agard that actually got the winner in the 47th minute of the first half. Lucky, the keeper does just basically give the ball to him. When you're parrying a ball, the last thing you want to do is parry it to the fucking edge of the area in the centre. That is always going to normally end 9 out of 10 times in the back of the net, which Kieran Agard showed his experience and his capabilities of putting it in the back of the net. Hardy could have finished the game off, but decided to put the ball into Rosed. I think that's where we identified the ball went to, or it might have been Roque. We're not sure. It certainly went way over the fucking bar. And yeah, I mean, Charlton were all right, but a really important win for Argyle after Ryan Lowe made us suffer and was 3 games on a losing run. And it was all his fault, surprisingly. But moving on to the next game, because
I was going to.
we don't need Aaron.
I
don't really need you to hear. I don't really want to hear your view on my club because I'll end up coming through the screen and strangling you myself.
You're linked to the West Brom young forward Ryan Tulloch for a loan deal in January. What's your thoughts on that? We had him for a couple of games and he got injured.
We're not going to get him. Have you seen the amount of forwards we've got? We've got Niall Ennis, Luke Jeffcott, Ryan Hardy, Jordan Garrick, and fucking Kieran Agard, and you want to add a 6th striker. How many strikers do you want in one squad? And firstly, how many
I think he's looking at
on
that.
the starting lineup?
Mind you, Fleetwood and MK Dons
what to add another striker to make it 7?
This is exactly why I didn't want to answer this stupid question, because I knew
MK Dons
it would just be
as well, though, so it's not just you.
Let me just help you. Another club will pick him up. It won't be Argyle. We've already got 5 strikers. We play with 2. Moving on.
Why have you done it? No good player will be going to Donny.
We've had him before for a couple of games. We need
don't ask him. Don't ask him questions. Don't ask him questions. We've had fucking Balassi at one point. Is he coming back to Argyle then? Moving on before I want to shoot myself. Shrewsbury 3-1 winners against Cheltenham Town. Big win for Shrewsbury, that is. They did 50 minutes of a game down to 10 men after Tom Blackson got sent off. I'm not sure why he got sent off, but I can only assume it was something. But that win has dragged Shrewsbury out of the relegation zone up to 20th. 2 points clear of the relegation zone. So, Charlie, Shrewsbury, how do we expect them to do? Do we expect them going up or not up? Of course, not going up. Staying up, I mean, not going up. Yeah. Jesus Christ, that would take one. That would take a fucking miracle.
Championship.
Up the mighty shoes. Up the mighty shoes.
Yeah.
I think Steve Cottrell took Bristol City up to the Championship, so it's not out of the question at some point if they push on. But no. I don't believe it. Shrewsbury not going to the Championship. Don't you even think about it.
Charlie, talk.
I'm just hearing this. I'm just hearing these random.
Don't.
Okay. I'll help.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah,
I'll help you now. Keep talking.
Yeah. I don't know what he's saying, but good win. I think they've done pretty well at home in recent games. I think they've took points off Sunderland as well. So, but yeah, very good win. But They just need to try and get some points away from home as well because it's not really happened away from home. But yeah, and it's weird. Do you know what? The weirdest thing about Shrewsbury is? I don't usually bring up our ex-players, but Luke Leahy, who signed for them in the summer, played wing-back for us last season, right? And he's playing centre midfield this season for Shrewsbury, which is very, very strange, but he seems to be doing all right. So, yeah, fair play.
Google's saying he's in a back three as well, at the actual centre-back in the back three as well.
Yeah, I mean, he did play a few games for us there last season. Not many, but midfield. He's played there. He's played centre mid mostly, which is just really strange. But
Shrewsbury good. But Shrewsbury, good win for them against three of our. They've got this. This is a game of former Rovers players. You've got Marco Morosi in goal at Shrewsbury, and then you got Cheltenham with playing Blair, Williams, and May at the same time. So. Good to see 4 former Rovers players playing, and good 3 points for Shrewsbury, but not great for us because that means they'll get to extend their lead to safety.
Yeah. I think one of our ex-players scored that game as well.
Has he stopped
Andy
talking
Williams.
about Doncaster Rovers? Has he
Yes,
finally stopped talking about? Oh, crikey. One day, Aaron, you will actually talk about an opposition team and not mention your own players. One day, that day will come. I don't think it'll be any day soon, but that day will come.
I don't think.
Indiana, we need to find a new replacement for Aaron. Let's move down to League Two, shall we? 4 games in League Two. We'll start with Rochdale, who by some miracle beat Newport County 3-0. Charlie, you quoted by saying Newport should batter them 7-0 or something. Rochdale would like an apology right now, if that is possible, because they battered Newport 3-0.
I remember I said if we can score 4 against them, then Newport should at least win like 5-0. But that's what League Two is.
I was just about to say, does that just not show exactly what League Two is all about? If you're a betting man, always avoid League Two because the unexpected is always to be expected.
League Two is a very unexpected division.
Yeah. But Charlie, talk us through this.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I couldn't quite believe my eyes when I seen Rochdale. Apparently Newport was shit, but that's what can happen though. You could be on a good run of form, you could be winning games, and then you have one bad game and you pay for it basically. And crazy 3-0 win. Very good for Rochdale. I think their manager would have probably hammered home that you have to, you cannot, lose 4-2 again or concede. And they, like I said last week, they could have conceded 7 or 8 to us. We battered them. But fair play, Rochdale. I apologise.
Newport have gone downhill since Michael Flynn's left. Is it just me?
Are you mad? They've been doing quite well, Newport.
I just don't feel like Newport's got that certain spark they have with Michael Flynn.
Are you mad? You obviously don't watch League Two.
They are currently sitting 6th in League Two, 1 point behind Tranmere in 5th, 2 behind Port Vale. They're 1 point behind Port Vale as well, and they're 2 points off automatic promotion.
That's what I mean.
I think it might just be you, Aaron.
I just think 2 wins in the last 5 is not 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss in the last 5. I don't know.
Are you mad?
I think a bad run's coming at some point.
Coming from a Dolly fan saying 2 wins, 2 draws, only 1 loss in the last 5, and you think that's
I just think a bad run's coming at some point. I can just see it for Newport.
I think
you've already had a bad run.
Take the L, right? Just take the L, right, and just work with it, all right? It's now your time to enjoy Charlie.
Gut feeling Newport just hasn't felt the same without Michael Flynn. I just don't know where they're going to go.
Yeah, but the problem is, right, I'm not sure if you know what happened in League Two, but about 3 or 4 months ago, Newport were like 15th in the league, and they sacked and Flynn decided to leave, and now they're 6th, and you think they've doesn't feel the same and they've lost their spot. I think they've only
No,
lost.
I'm not saying the jump from 15th to 6th isn't amazing. It's fantastic, but I just
Sure.
feel like something's going to happen by the end of the season where they bottle the chance of promotion.
Should we move on before you make yourself look like an even bigger tit than you?
I mean,
already
Newport could be a good fixture next season if we go down, but
you've literally just said the Newport don't feel the same after they sat their manager, or the manager walked after they were 15th and now they're 6th, 2 points off automatic.
I'm not saying it's not great.
What I think you should probably do. What I think you should probably do is retract your previous comment. Let us move on to Salford Stevenage, and let's hope you don't say anything dodgy about this game.
I mean,
Would you like to retract your previous comment?
Solskjaer's linked to Salford City. Thoughts?
No, he's not.
Would you like to retract it? Would you like to retract your comment previously you said about Newport County, where it doesn't feel the same? You're right, it isn't the same. They're actually a lot higher now with their new manager. But I'm just wondering if you want to retract that comment and we move on, or
all right, go on. I'll
or if
retract
that's
that
the hill
comment.
you
But
wanna
I'm
die
going
on.
to Solskjaer to Salford. Is it going to happen?
Right.
No, do you actually believe them rumors from like an Instagram page?
No, I'm just interested.
No, so let's actually talk about football, believe it or not. And let's talk about Salford's 1-0 win over Stevenage. Jordan Turnbull with the win here.
Sky Sports as well.
Salford are currently sitting 13th. They've had an absolute howl of a season so far under their manager, Gary Bowyer. Stevenage, on the other hand, under Tisdale, not looking too shabby, I don't think. Let me just, not too shabby. They're in a relegation battle, but you would probably expect that from Stevenage. No offense, Stevenage. But I think ultimately Tisdale probably keep them up. I actually don't want to be harsh, but I think the bottom two are probably the ones who are going to go down for me in terms of Stevenage and Oldham. And I think, not Stevenage, Scunthorpe and Oldham. So I think for me, Tisdale, I'm looking more next season of what he can do with Stevenage. But Charlie, I'll go to you first. What do you expect to see from Tisdale Stevenage? Because we know they've lost 1-0, but Salford are technically on paper a very good club. They might not show that often, but they apparently are. But what do you expect from sort of like a Stevenage Tisdale? Do you expect him to keep him in a league and then go on it from next season, or?
I'm not sure. I think Tisdale. I mean, it's hard to say because obviously he hasn't really done well since the League Two season he had at MK Dons, where they either won the league or got promoted final day of the season. But I don't know. I watched them in the FA Cup against Yeovil, and Stevenage were absolutely shocking. To be honest with you, if you're talking about staying up, I still think Oldham have a chance, even though they've got so much crap going on in the background with their owners. For them to come back from 5-2 down against Forest Green, still shows they've got fight, and I wouldn't put it past Stevenage still being in a battle, because Tisdale, I think he's past it. I think he deserves to be at a club like Donny, not Stevenage.
Hang on, I was so glad that we didn't get linked to Tisdale. So glad.
Do you not think that someone like Tisdale, who is good at working on the budget, just needs to get some more of his type of players, because he does play a particular brand of football? Do you not think that he now needs to go and try and get them sort of particular, because he needs footballers, right? We know this. He needs a footballer. He needs someone who can pass the ball and is sort of the midfield dictator. Do you think he just needs to go and get one of them, and then we'll start to see a bit more? Because I think under Exeter, when he was at Exeter, he was look, I don't like to speak ill of the dead like Exeter, but he was quite decent for them, small club and all that. So I do think that on a budget, he's not too bad. So I think there's more to come from Tisdale. I do.
I mean, for me, I just think he's past it. I think he's past it. Even still pisses me off with him last season, the fact that He was in January, and because he had him at Exeter, he was only after we needed a striker right last January. We were in the mud, and the only player he wanted was Jaden Stockley last season, and that he didn't have any other thing. And I just think he'll do.
Jaden Stockley would have been a big positive, to be fair.
Yeah, but he didn't have any. He didn't have any like backup choices. So yeah, but yeah, I don't reckon they'll do that well. They might stay up Stevenage, but I think Tisdale's past it personally.
I think there's a little slight anger in Charlie's voice there. I think he's still annoyed at Mr. Tisdale. But Aaron, got anything to offer on this one?
Good with
No,
Salford.
Oh god, he's actually
good with Salford. Obviously, Salford's going to have a very interesting period now because they've got Class of '92 documentary coming out on Sky Sports for when Richard Owens was in charge, so that's going to be interesting. But no, Salford, good win for them. I think I agree with you now. I think the top two the bottom two, in League Two are probably the bottom two we're going to see at the end of the season. Oldham, very poorly run. Disgusting what they did this week. Banning supporters that disagree with their running of the club. Absolutely disgusting. Scunthorpe are run poorly as well, so I expect them to be in a lot of trouble this season. Too badly run. Isn't it weird? I think it's the past 6 years now. I think past 5-6 years, the two clubs in the bottom two in League Two are the top two worst poorly run clubs in English football league at the moment.
Last year was Southend. The year before it was Macclesfield. Yeah.
Bury got expelled.
Ruining fucking clubs. Yeah.
I think that's how the League Two relegation zones worked now for the last few years. Get the two worst owned clubs, make them even worse, and then kick them out, and then we can get two new clubs in to keep our pyramid alive.
That's why Swindon were very lucky that their ownership was quick, and
that's why I was banking on Swindon doing well this season because they got that ownership quickly done.
Yeah, I don't know how the hell they managed to change it so quickly, bring in good players, and they're obviously they've done
in such a bad situation in the summer. They had a manager. He left after a month without playing a fucking game. Brought in a new manager with the ownership.
That's the thing. They had that's why I put them to finish bottom two because they had 6 players at the end of August or mid-August.
I think it was John McGreal that left after a month before Bengana came in. So Swindon but again, like you said now, bottom two are going to be the bottom two at the end of the season for me. But for Stevenage, see what they do next season. I think it's just the second season for Tisdale to see what it can do. With Salford, I think this win papers the cracks. I think Garibaldi could still be in trouble this season.
Yeah, they're shit, Salford.
Moving on to it was Sutton 1, Harrogate 0. A lot of 1-0s in League Two this weekend. But Sutton currently occupying third in League Two. Charlie, that is obviously unexpected. Is it sustainable? Because I'm looking at teams below them. I'm looking at Port Vale, Tranmere, Newport County, Exeter, right, who have all got Swindon as well, who have all got experience of getting out of this league. You've got some great managers. You've got Dal Clark at Port Vale. You've obviously got Newport doing well under their new manager. Is this sustainable, or do we think Sutton might go on a bit of a dip? Because it's been remarkable, but I wouldn't say that they're quite promoted just yet. It's very tight in the promotion spots. I think Forest Green Rovers and Northampton are sort of going away, whether that remains to be seen or not. But Sutton, how do we sort of see their season going?
Yeah, for me, I don't think they'll. I think in the end, I think they'll just be mid-table. But saying that, I said they would get. I said they'd get relegated in my League Two predictions. So what can I say? And I said we would win the league. So I'm very wrong in all statements.
I said Bristol Rovers top 3, so I'm wrong with that.
But I mean, fair play. It depends really, because I think if they I don't think they've really had any that bad of like. Say if they had 9 players out, like we or other teams have, I think they're pretty screwed. But because they've somehow not got many injuries, and obviously it's pretty much the same team they had last season, so they're still on a upwards trajectory. But I still think they'll miss out. I just don't think they are solid. To be fair, they don't concede many goals, but they don't score many. But I think when they get a few injuries and it dries up, I don't think they'll be there. But they've done very well to be
3
there
points
for now.
3 points separate 3rd and 8th. That's just how tight it is in the playoff battle.
Christ.
Aaron, talk to me about Harrogate, though. They are 3 points away from Exeter in the playoffs. Exeter obviously occupying the last playoff spot. Can Harrogate somehow manage to do it? Or are the teams I've just mentioned, Port Vale, Tranmere, Newport, Exeter, Swindon, are they just going to be too good in terms of their experience and their know-how of securing the playoffs? And also, the playoffs, if the playoffs are, Port Vale, Tranmere, Newport, and Exeter, that is a bloody good League Two playoffs. I cannot lie.
I don't forget us as well. We still haven't hit form yet. You are currently
in 17th on 26 points.
Chance.
So I'm not ruling you out.
But how many points off the playoffs?
7.
6. Oh,
7.
It's mad, isn't it? 17th to 7th. There's only 6 or 7 points. It's mad.
Crawley are only 8 points off the playoffs. So, but Aaron, Harrogate.
I think Harrogate is still. I'm not going to rule Harrogate out. No way. I don't think we can rule any teams out apart from the bottom 4 or 5. I think Harrogate has still got a chance. It's going to be hard against some of those experienced teams, but I believe in Sutton and I believe in Harrogate. So I think Harrogate still have got a chance to do it. And on Sutton, I think they've got a chance of being around that or just outside that playoffs.
You like backing the smaller ones, don't you? You like an underdog story.
I like an underdog story. I think Sutton United.
Probably because you're a Doncaster fan. But moving to our last game.
I think Sutton and Harrogate have been great clubs in the Football League so far. So it'd be nice to see them get some success. Imagine Sutton in League One. Jesus Christ.
Moving to the next one and the final one of the weekend was in fact Tranmere versus Leyton Orient. Jay Spearing getting the winner for Tranmere. Tranmere sitting in 5th. That's a good win again. Another 1-0. Again, League Two just proving how damn close it really is. I can't recall too many batterings in League Two. I'm sure Charlie can correct me, but it's not normally back in the day. Now I'm starting to sound a little bit older. Back in the day of ARGYLE being there with only 7,000 fans at the stadium. So I'm talking about 2013, 14, 15. Even before that, you'd see the batterings regularly. I mean, Argyle lost 4-0 to York, I think, one time. Was it 5-0? I can't remember.
I think we battered Morecambe 5-1 a few years ago as well.
I remember Trotman got sent off after like 13 minutes and gave away a penalty at the same time, and it was at that point I just put good old
Neil Trotman.
I know. I just put my feet up on the back of the empty chair in front of me and was like, "Yeah, might as well just sit back and watch this. This should be a fun one."
I can't remember who we battered in 2003-04 in League Two. I can't remember whether it was Kidderminster or someone.
We got battered this season by fucking Exeter away.
In fact, 2003-2004, we battered you guys, Bristol Rovers, 5-1 in League Two. So.
When was that?
2003-04 season. I think Greg Blundell was on the score sheet at that point. It was when we were managed by Dave Penny.
I wasn't even watching them back then.
Fair.
I was just about to say, I'm sure Aaron's got vivid memories of them being like 4 or 5. But Charlie, Tranmere Rovers, good win for them.
Yeah, very good win against Orient. And it's again it really annoys me. It really annoys me, League Two, especially this season. And especially with us, where there isn't really much in League Two. It's just you have to be you have to be good at defending. because Tranmere, they don't score loads of goals, but they're good at defending. And we bottled it against them a few weeks ago. We were fucking 2-0 up, and we let them come back. But they seem to, they've got a very, very experienced defense. With Clark, who's like 39, pushing 40, and our ex-player Tom Davis, and keeping loads of clean sheets and a very good win against an Orient team who I think had a few players out with COVID. They had a quite weak team, so I'm not really surprised Tranmere won, but still a good win against Orient.
Yeah.
What about you, Alan? What did you reckon of Stranmore versus Celtic Hearts in League 2? Scottish League 2. We'll expand ourselves, shall we? We'll do if we haven't got any games next week. We'll cover Scottish League 2 and Scottish League 1. I'm excited to talk about Montrose versus Queen's Park, to be fair, and Dumbarton versus Peterhead, Cove Rovers versus Alloa Athletic. Proper teams here.
I think with Leyton Orient, I think there's a reason they've got a Hurricane sponsorship on their t-shirt, because they've been lacking in goals this season, especially in this game.
What?
No, not this season. Not this season.
Are you mad?
This game, not this season. This game. I said it wrong. It was this game only, not this season. Not this season. This game.
I was going to say they're one of they've got two of the best strikers in the league, and
exactly not this season. This game, they've lapped in goals this game because they got Harry Kane on their sponsorship. But no, Tranmere have got a decent 3 points out of this one. Leyton Orient just need to channel their inner Harry Kane and their inner sideman and just score.
I mean, to be fair, that's the problem with Orient. Apart from, of course, battering us at home, because we had a spell at home where we conceded 9 goals in 3 games. But apart from the battering they gave us, their away form has been very poor, Orient. It's mainly been their home form that's got them up there. So if they can sort out, if they can sort out their away form, they can be up there in the automatics. But
they've got an experienced manager in Kenny Jackett. Why did I say the whole season? I
don't know, because it's you, isn't it?
and you know what? On that note, I think we should wrap up. Because I'm getting hungry and I want to go eat my dinner or go get dinner.
I want to play Football Manager 2022, which I've bought. So
there you
congratulations! Try not to run Doncaster into a ground. But we'll be back on. Are we back Thursday, boys? Are we back on Thursday?
Yeah. Hopefully there's
there's no weekend games, but we can have some
fixtures.
discussions about some stuff.
There is weekend.
And hopefully
games.
there's plenty of games still on.
That is weekend games, you absolute plonker. I'm pretty sure they're on Sunday.
But if they're not called off.
Oh and we're playing the 27th, so we're probably gonna have to. I'm probably gonna be. We're probably gonna review that one. We'll predict it on the Thursday and then review it on the Monday after the game, because that's a half-time kickoff.
All our games are on Sunday. You absolute plonker.
Not all of them. We're on Monday.
Don't get pedantic, or I will choke slam the shit out of you.
Well, we can review ours. We can review ours on the Monday show. Either way, so
like we do with every show.
I was just about to say, is this dickhead on something special?
That's the positive of being a half-12 kickoff.
Like, are you just purposely trying to wind me up this week, or have you just completely lost your head?
I think I've just been injected with madness today.
Yeah.
I'm just not well, and I'm trying to look well.
Yeah, stay off the Coca-Cola and the fucking cannabis and the
cocaine.
But if you want to find me, you can find me on Let's Talk Premier League. I promise I have better footballing opinions than him. That's where you can find me. Charlie, where can they find you, mate? Apart from
One Rovers Vlogs on YouTube and at One Rovers Vlogs on Twitter.
And Aaron, if they do ever want to hear your footballing opinions, I'm not sure why they would want to, but where can they find you, mate?
You can find me on Twitter at Aaron_Challoner, Instagram at Aaron Challoner official, YouTube Coach Chal, and Forever Football DRFC. I will start uploading on that Forever Football channel a lot more, even though we've had our Lincoln game postponed. So I will try and upload at some point. But yeah, new manager. Let's go. Hopefully it's Paul Clement or Mick McCarthy.
Graham Coughlin.
Neil Lennon.
Neil Lennon.
He's in the bookies. Don't get me wrong.
I love Lennon.
He's in the bookies.